Tapping in.
Are we live?
All right. We back.
Nah, but like for real now.
Our avid listeners know that we try to put this thing together for y'all every week. And you know, sometimes we stumble, especially when we don't have our producer in the building, right? Like we need him, Hassan, holding us down, right? My man, for real this time. That damn Michael Shea, the review. So you put me onto this, man. What was your thinking behind this?
Man, like it's always such a pleasure when you get to have a show or some content that you're like, I know my homies are gonna enjoy this. I can't wait for my people to be able to watch this stuff. And so that damn Michael Shea was that for me. It's been a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant time for Black television, man. And we've been covering it. I'm so glad that we're so close to that scene because I think it's some of the flyest content that's coming out. And I think that damn Michael Shea is definitely one of them, right? Michael Shea, who is a head writer for Saturday Night Live. This is his HBO show, 6 episodes, 20 minutes an episode. Man, it's it's such a refreshing show, and you would think that after getting things like all these TV shows that we've seen, everything that's coming out. We had Atlanta coming this year. We had the Bust Down coming this year. You know, there's been a lot of television, the Gerard Carmichael show, but still it's such a refreshing take to be able to hear about the content that these guys are doing. And this is one of those shows, man. I really enjoyed it a lot.
I didn't like it.
Damn.
No, I'm playing.
There you have it, folks. 1 star.
Nah, it was good. It was really good. It was really good. And that was a beautiful introduction that you gave it. I actually appreciated the fact that I got to run back some of his comedy specials in advance of checking out the show, because what struck me about some of his specials was that he has this way of touching on all the topics that a lot of other comedians touch on, but keeping funny at the heart of it. And no pun on Kevin Hart or any of the comedians that we look up to or have spoken about on this show, but I think that's really needed right now, right? In a weird way. Like, it's weird to say that comedy needs somebody who's about being funny, but I think a lot of comedy has turned to being about applause. A lot of comedy has turned to social commentary and people getting their philosophical ideas off. And if you're good at that, I'm tuned in. But I also think that the type of comedy that focuses on being funny, bringing people joy, I think is an important measure of balance that's brought to that. And he does that with his stand-up. And I think he really does that with his show. I was impressed by, this isn't the first show. Like, comedians get shows all the time, right? That happens all the time. There's some of the most popular, like, that's one of the most often shows that pop up. It'd be true crime or like CSI type stuff, and it'd be this comedian got a show. And so I didn't know what to expect when I went into this, but the way that he uses bits, and the way that he uses different ideas and chops them up to be running jokes, or he doesn't none of his jokes, none of his themes outstay their welcome. And I think that's a really dope thing to be able to do as a comedian. So I did mess with it.
It's interesting to see his influences, because obviously he is head writer of Saturday Night Live. So he's constantly creating different scenes, and setting them in these fragmented segments that do connect with each other. So you can see that come out, and also incorporating a bit of his stand-up as well, which is said to be the writer's room. So that is them in their writer's room with just a very dope setup. And then he speaks through certain ideas, and you kind of get to see how those ideas are spoken about and then how they later transpire, which is really dope, which is some Chappelle show. It feels very Chappelle show reminiscent, which is a great compliment to be able to get, because that's such a standout show. What I love most, bro, is that you're seeing a lot of black comedians work with each other. You know, you're seeing Sam J on there, you're seeing Godfrey on there, even Method Man being on there. You know, that was I like the fact that we can have this universe of creators that are working together and they're working with each other. And I think that's why it's such a dope scene. You know, you're seeing Sam J bring in Zach Fox, I believe, in on all those gents going into the bust down, and then see her appear here. And then, you know, that's I think that's really cool. The scene with the scene where they draw the dude with the Goku hair dead and an air painted mural, that was hilarious, absolutely hilarious.
There are a lot of moments like that in the show where you can tell that Michael Shea and his writers' room kind of have free reign, or at least there's nobody like telling them no to certain things that they want to do. And I appreciate that. That comes through, right? There's a lot of shows on TV, even some really like, yeah, prominent black ones that you can feel the network's hand on it and the limitations that the show has. And this show shows that it doesn't have a lot of those same limitations without being super raunchy, without trying to, go for shock value, but just really showing like a perspective that makes a lot of even difficult topics digestible. The first episode starts off and is all about policing, right? It basically starts off with a what's it called? Not a pseudo, but a parody of a police, like a commercial for police, right? And the way that he approaches that topic is super dope. And then there's a lot of shows that wouldn't be able to do that or wouldn't get the green light to do that. So I'm glad he has the freedom creatively to express himself and make stuff that's really, really relatable to me. Yeah, check it out. I recommend it. Do we rate TV
Highly
shows?
recommended. We definitely have to rank TV shows, man. And I think, running at 20 minutes, definitely one would like longer episodes of this. Especially episodes like Dudley Gets Shot, and talked about how some folks are more afraid of they're more willing to risk their life by not calling the ambulance, and black hospitals, and saying, look, man, I'd rather take a lift because that ambulance fee is way too high. That's perfect social commentary on just exactly the madness of what all these things we've been talking about in the US is. So it's super funny, man. Like you say, keeping funny at the heart of it. Keeping funny at the heart of it is so funny. I wish these episodes were longer, but that's just because I enjoy it a whole lot. Definitely stand out, man. I think I'm very excited to see what the next offering from this show looks like.
Yeah, it's 2 seasons on Netflix now, so run through them, sprint through them.
It's 2 seasons?
It's son. You
It's all
welcome.
one.
You welcome, cuz. Enjoy
Look at
that.
that.
Enjoy that.
Look at that.
Yeah, I mess with it. I mean, just to put it in context, let me throw some tough questions at you. This or the bust down?
This.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's more relatable.
This or the most recent season of Atlanta?
This.
Woo!
You? Right. What do you say?
I say we going back to that Kendrick conversation. I enjoy this more. It's an easier watch. I will probably throw this on more readily than I will throw on the Bust Down or Atlanta. But I would say I might could put it over to Bust Down, maybe a little bit. It's really clever. It has made me laugh out loud a lot. But when it comes to Atlanta, I think Atlanta is it's in a different lane artistically. And I mess with it for that. But that's a serious cosign, man. And I ain't knocking it. I stand with you. This is a fire show. I recommend it to all y'all out there that need something to watch while y'all eat something delicious and hug somebody you love.
Hey man, listen, if I had to give it a score, I give it a 5 out of 5, man. This to me is a bullseye shot, man. Creatively, it's great. I love how it's shot. You have some Saturday Night Live execs that are also co-producing the show, man. That's why it's of tip-top quality. I really dig it, man. I really do. 5 out of 5 for the boy.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. That Saturday Night Live is involved because it's clean. It is clean. The lighting,
Clean.
the cuts, the editing, clean, very clean.
Hmm.
So yeah, I appreciate you bringing that to the people, bringing this to the people. What else you got for the people, man? I know we had some music had dropped it this week. We want to give them anything that you're listening to, anything that you're rocking with, or and maybe even a preview of what we might be checking out next week and beyond.
You know, we in our writers room, man, we've been bumping that West Side Boogie. That's been holding us down and preparing the show. That's what I'm listening to, man. I'm stuck on West Side Boogie. Uncle Jam's all about R&B. You know, this keeping it. That's Sabrina Claudio. That's Sabrina Claudio. I'm telling you.
Mm, mm, got you. Yeah, I've been swimming through some Shaylia. Man, there's a lot
Mm.
there. There's a lot there. And what's that track that I sent you, man? Is it Noso Amon, the one that you already was up on?
Numb Soul Foreigner.
Yes, man. Yes, yes, yes. That's chef's kiss. Y'all go ahead and enjoy that, man. Um, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all joining us for this show.
Yes, sir.
We do it because we know.
We know. Shout out to our producer holding us down.